look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. 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 In the name of love. Person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. We come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, in the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love.
Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Rosa. I'm Russ Laguerre. I'm your assistant minister. I'm so glad to be here with you today. And can we give you some love to our wonderful band? The divine incarnation is inherent in our nature. We are immersed in an infinite knowingness. The question is, how much of this reality are we going to express in our own lives? And this is a question our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, poses us in the Science of Mind textbook. In other words, his invitation for us is to consider what it means to live a life that is grounded in the knowledge of our divine nature. And that's exactly what we work toward here at the center. So whether you're in the room or you're watching online, please know you're very welcome here, where we recognize the divine nature in all. Now, please join me in reading out loud our mission. The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling global vision that inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our programs and teaching. Together, we're helping create a world that works for everyone. And we help create this world by practicing our 5 spiritual practices. And would you please read those out loud with me? Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, spiritual circulation. We use flowers at the center to send messages of love and appreciation to one another. And today's dedication is from our center's staff, and it's for Roger Morey. And we say, Roger, happy birthday, and thank you. Thank you for your many years of service to our center. You became a member 28 years ago in 1997, and throughout that time, you have been an invaluable volunteer, helping us maintain a welcoming and well-cared-for environment for our events, rentals, and Wednesday and Sunday services. Your thoroughness, reliability, and steady presence make a real difference, and you are truly a joy to have in our community. Whenever we ask how you're doing, your answer is always the same: marvelous. So it feels only right to wish you a truly marvelous birthday month. Happy birthday, Roger. We would now like to extend a warm welcome to our first-time visitors. First-time visitors, would you please stand as you're able or raise your hand? We would love to bring you a flower and a welcome packet as a token of gratitude for joining us today. I know that somewhere between the music, meditation, prayer, practices, and Dr. Edwards' message today, you will find exactly what you need for the next step of your spiritual journey. Please know you are very welcome here. Now, I invite you to sit back and relax and enjoy some music before our short time of silent contemplation and prayer.
I feel peace. When I'm still, I feel peace. When I'm still, I know peace. When I'm still, I know peace. When I'm still, I see the one. When I am still, I see the one. When I'm still, I feel the one. When I am still, I feel the one behind it all, the one behind it all, the one that I can call, one that I can call. When I lose my way, 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 when I'm still, I feel peace. When I'm still, I feel peace. When I'm still, I know peace. When I'm still, I know peace. When I'm still, I see the one. When I'm still, I see the one. When I'm still, I feel the one. When I'm still, I feel the one behind it all, the one behind it all, the one that I can call, the one that I can call. I lose my way, when 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 I lose my way.
in this quiet stillness. This one presence, this one source is fully abiding, holding all of creation, unfolding throughout all. There is only this one, nothing outside of, nothing apart from this presence divine. It is fully abiding in its wholeness, creating, recreating from that wholeness to wholeness always. God, Spirit, the divine, the one. And I recognize this one as the very life of my life, in, through, and as all that I am, no separation. It is that infills me, breathes my every breath of that expresses through everything, every moment, every activity. And always abiding is this inner stillness. And so I simply know this as the truth of each and every one in this room, each and every one hearing this word. It is the truth of all life, always. And so I know that it is what is present right now in this service this morning, unfolding anew right in this moment, holding, abiding, unfolding through all, singing, praying, speaking, receiving through all right now. And so I know that we are blessed in this moment. We are held, supported, and sustained in this moment, and I simply give thanks for this knowing. So good to come home. And in this recognition, I simply let go. I let this be, and so it is. Amen. Good morning. I am Ruth Barnhart, a minister here at our center. Please join with me in reading this morning's affirmation. I live in harmony with the creative power of life, and so it is.
1, 2, 3, 4. Been planting seeds on the ground, watering them with my sweat and tears, scattering them all around. Guess that's what I'm supposed to do with my years. The funny thing is I may know what I planted, but never what will show. It always seems to be a perfect mystery. Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail. What's meant to soar will soar. I'm just planting seeds, nothing more. Sometimes I still like to pretend I know what the harvest will be, but I always find out in the end it was never really up to me. The funny thing is when I just do my work and simply trust, it always seems that life is looking out for me. Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail. What's meant to soar will soar. I'm just planting seeds, nothing more. And I am only one of billions of seeds. When all is said and done, I just do what's mine to do and let it be. die. Whatever works will work. Whatever flies will fly. Whatever fails will fail. What's meant to soar will soar. I'm just planting seeds. Whatever grows will grow. Whatever dies will die. Whatever works will work. Whatever flies will fly. Whatever fails will fail. What's meant to soar will soar. I'm just planting seeds. I'm planting seeds. I'm just planting seeds. Nothing more.
Thank you very much, gentlemen of the band, and thank you, Reverend Ruth, for the beautiful opening prayer, and Reverend Russ for welcoming us, and thank you for being here with us at the Center for Spiritual Living Santa Rosa, where this year we're exploring faith traditions of the world. We're starting at the beginning of the year with our own faith tradition, the science of mind, and then we'll go through Islam, Christianity, Baha'i, and so on. And then we'll bookend it at the end of the year with coming back to science of mind. That's what we're doing. So according to our tradition in our Center for Spiritual Living, many centers go back to basics in the beginning of the year. It's a good thing to do every now and then. And we review the first 4 chapters of the book written by our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. And the first 4 chapters are the thing itself, referring to the divine creative power. The way it works is the second chapter. And then this week, the third chapter is what it does. So, to get into what it does, I'm going to invite you to use your imagination with me and imagine that you're in a room filled up with people and they're all wearing name tags. You know, it's one of those networking events where everybody's smiling and trying to connect with each other, and somehow God is there in the room. Big name tag. Clear letters, hard to miss, you know. So you hesitate at first, and you walk up and say, "Hi, nice to meet you. So, what do you do?" And God smiles, understanding that we ask that question to learn more about each other. It's a way of opening up the conversation to go deeper, right? And so God answers and says, probably not what you think. You know what? It might be actually easier if I start with what I don't do. And so you feel your shoulders relax and you get curious and you say, good, that's a good starting point, because I grew up with some wild and confusing ideas about you. God nods and says, you know, you're not alone in this. So let me give you a short list of what I don't do. I don't grant wishes like a genie in a bottle. I don't pick favorites. I don't side with certain teams or nations or belief systems. I don't selectively answer certain prayers and not others. And you start thinking about this and you're nodding along and you say, you know, honestly, that's very helpful. That explains a lot, because I've always wondered about that, why some people's prayers seem to work and others don't. And God smiles, continues to nod. He said, probably because people keep imagining me to be like a kind of cosmic vending machine in the sky. You know, put in the right words, put in the right belief system, push the button you want, and hope that the snack is going to fall out from the sky. And it's not how I work. I don't do that. So you pause. Now you're starting to think this through. You say, all right, what else don't you do? And God continues, I don't punish. I don't require sacrifice. I don't get jealous. I don't get even. I don't set traps. I don't create unsolvable riddles and then blame you when you can't figure them out. I don't get angry. I don't destroy. And you blink and you cross your arms and you go, that's very different from what I learned growing up. And God laughs gently and says, yeah, I know. My branding has been inconsistent, to be fair. God pauses and says, honestly, the problem might be in the way people think about me. Sometimes people think of me as if I were human, with moods and opinions and grudges. And, I probably need a new name, a name that describes more accurately what I actually am, like a rebranding. And you say quickly, I think I've got you. I've got you on this, because at my spiritual center in Santa Rosa, we call you the thing itself, or sometimes we call you life. And sometimes we call you spirit. Sometimes we call you mind. God nods and says, you know what? I like that. Go ahead, call me life. And then tell me, how has that changed things for you to think of me as life? Now you take a moment and you think about it and say, what, let me go back to the beginning. I think I may have misunderstood what I was taught as a child, because I don't know how, but I thought that, I had to earn my relationship with you. I had to earn my place in life. And I learned that there was a right way to think and a right way to behave, and that there was this right set of rules, and if I got them wrong, I would lose your approval. And underneath all of this, there was this persistent fear, this fear of punishment, this fear of exclusion. And life starts to nod again and responds quietly and says, that's a heavy burden to carry. But now you're finding your rhythm and you continue. You say, yeah, I've had to grow up out of that way of thinking. I had to let go of the idea that the sacred had special favorite people, or approved of some people and rejected other people. And what made the really big change for me was a new idea I encountered at the center. It was a challenging idea at first, and it's this, that the divine is impersonal. At this point, God's name tag changes to life. And God smiles as life. And you're encouraged, so you carry on. The idea itself of God being impersonal is not new. It was new to me. But it was right there in the Bible. It says, in some way that God makes the sun to shine on the good and on the bad, and the rain to fall on the just and the unjust. I had heard the words before, but I had just not taken the meaning in. And you breathe and you pause and say, but when you take that in, you have to accept that we're all participating in creating this experience together, and we've all got a role to play, and no one is more special than anyone else in the eyes of life. And that got me to thinking, maybe the issue isn't with what life does as much as it is with what humanity does to itself, with the power it has, because it hasn't yet realized what it is capable of. And that's unsettling. And then you add, as if you're working this all out loud through your head, you say to life, life expresses itself through us. That's what it does. It expresses, it creates, it flows through everyone's thinking, through our choices, through our imagination, through our intention, as though you're figuring this out for the first time. And you say, and although we are capable of creating great things, even so, our human systems can also create very unequal conditions. Then you catch yourself. But here I go, trying to tell you who you are and what you do. And life nods slowly, doesn't say a word. So you take that as an encouragement and you say, you know, I realize that I am letting go of my childhood idea of you as a person with a personality, you know. And I'm really starting to understand you as energy or the creative power of life, something like that. And life breathes in and exhales, almost as in relief, and says quietly, I think now you're seeing it. You're seeing it. I don't judge, I embrace. I don't measure worthiness, I witness. I don't withhold myself. I am in all. I'm fully present at all time in you. And that may be the part that many miss. Although I am constant, your awareness of me isn't always. And you nod now. It's your turn to nod. And you go, yeah, you know what, life? I'm realizing something else too. You know, that word impersonal, it doesn't mean that you're distant. It means you can't be manipulated or flattered or begged. You're consistently what you are. And in a world that is constantly changing, you might be the one thing that we can depend on inside. That's a big thing to say, so you hesitate. And you ask, so I'm wondering what this means for me, specifically me. And life brightens up and said, exactly, this is where it becomes personal. Like, here's how it is. There is a power within you. It's my power, and you use it. Even at times when it seems distant or difficult, I'm always available. No waiting line, no rejection. And as you said earlier, what you do with it is up to you. You can use it to connect or to separate, to create or to destroy, to build up or to break down. And practically speaking, you're actually using this power of mine all the time, whether you know it or not. And really, it's easier to see in the small stuff, you know, how you greet the day, how you treat yourself, how you respond to others. You know, so try to notice the places where you feel alive and then lean into that, because that's one of the ways you can tune into the awareness of me in you. And you're taking this all in. Now you say, this is great. This is helping me a lot. But still, what is it that you do, actually? And life smiles. All right. I'll try to say it plainly. I create. And one way I do that is by taking what you consistently hold in your mind, and I flow through that as a tendency into expression. Your eyes widen, and you say more, and life continues. I'll say it again. I create. That's what I do. But I don't choose for you. I work kind of with what you bring to the table. Look, if you want to get really practical about it, like take a moment each morning, for example, and notice your breath. And then think of that breathing as me moving through you. And then carry that with you through the day. Let that be on your mind, and then begin to notice how that awareness shifts your energy and engagement. And you'll start to notice that that is me working through you. And if at any point you become overwhelmed, pause and step back and breathe again. And then remind yourself again that I am in you. And then notice again, what does that awareness of me in you do for you? And after a minute, life adds, this can be a practice of noticing. Noticing where you are already connected, and then choosing to stay there. And being gentle with yourself when you don't feel it at all, because that happens, life says. And when it does happen, sometimes humans need a little more help from each other to remember that I am the quiet, persistent presence within. And then life adds another important thing. I only work for you by working through you. And that means I support, but I never coerce. I never override your humanity. I am your tendency toward connecting and creating and solving and resolving. I am your life. And when you are aware of me, I am that pull toward calm and peace. And you breathe it in deeply. Oh, you say, well, let me see if I got this. Let me see if I got this right. The power within me to create is you. But I have to engage in order to use it. And I do that through my choices, what I think and what I dream about, and when I speak and when I act. And this is starting to make sense, because I'm starting to understand that using your power doesn't mean I get to control the world or to avoid my responsibilities. I still have to face the challenges of life and deal with the losses and the joys and the disappointments, and the sadnesses and the victories and all of that. And life is nodding, yep. And life says, and keep in mind that sometimes the world's noise is so loud that you can't even hear me inside at all. And that's when you lean on community, on professionals, on patience, on practice, on nature, on dance, on poetry, on pets, on loved ones, on art, on prayer. And you interrupt. Say, let me jump in right there. I think I'm starting to see something. I'm starting to see that, many of us grew up believing that happiness would come from somewhere else. Maybe a future version of ourselves that we would one day arrive when we had everything in place, everything we needed. But what I'm hearing you say is a little different. You're saying that no matter what is going on, you're there. And that there's nowhere else for me to go to find you. There's no future version of me where there'll be more of you present. That life is what's happening right here and right now all of the time. Every moment then, I am standing on the threshold of a new beginning, a new creation, a new direction, a new something. And life nods and says softly, yes. And I want to be very clear about something I already said. I want to say it again. I remain available in every moment, even in the challenging ones. But sometimes you won't be able to feel that. Sometimes the distance will feel immense. That's part of being human. It's not a personal failure on your part. And again, when that happens, lean on what I mentioned before: community, professionals, patience, whatever helps you, whatever supports you in remembering that I live through you. I live through you as the mind that is calm and clear and connected. I live through you. And you look at life and you remember from your studies something that Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote, and it comes into your mind. The farmer has seen the heavenly host in the field. The child has frolicked with God at play. The mother has clasped God to her breast, and the fond lover has seen God in the eyes of the beloved. We look too far away for the divine. And in that moment of remembering, you realize that the whole conversation has been pointing to something beautiful that some part of you already knew, that life is right where you are in every moment, in every breath. And so you take a breath and you let it sink into you. And as you breathe, you notice that you feel your searching ease up. You notice your reaching ease up. And you begin to sense that the energy that moves through all of creation is the same energy that moves through you and everything else. And it installs in you a sense of calm, watching awareness. And so you let your eyes close like you might do right now as you breathe in and exhaling. As you listen to the words of prayer that I speak, identifying them as your own, making any adjustments that feel necessary as the words come through. There is only one life, present everywhere, without beginning, without ending, eternal, immortal everywhere, the ground of all being. It is the way, it is the method, it is the initiating factor. It is the start, the middle, and the end of all that is, the Alpha and the Omega, the everything. In all time and in all space and in all dimensions, the divine, the presence, the heart of creation, that which defies definition or description, the divine. That which is larger than large and smaller than small, immediate, present. And I am part of that. It in me and me in it. My entire nature is of its immortal, eternal, creative nature. My entire self immersed in its creative energy. My mind part of its intelligent thinking. My entire being, my history, my present, my future, my breathing, my going forth, my coming home, my mind, my emotions, my heart, my soul, my flesh, my intentions, my everything, part of that holiness. This sense of unification with the divine allows me to realize deeply to the core of my being something that I have always known, that I am in the right place at the right time, successfully engaged in the only activity there is to be engaged in, living, being. I realize that this being practice of mine is holiness expressing. This realization acts like a light being turned on in a dark room, showing me the truth of who I am and where I am and what is going on in this life. My eyes' vision are clarified. My mind's thinking becomes beautiful. The inclination of my heart to connect and to help, to heal, amplifies. I see now in my mind's eye clear pathways through to what is mine to do, what is next. I feel my capacity to accept and integrate, expand and increase. I feel from this awareness, this realization, a deeper sense of wholeness that translates through my body as health and vitality and energy. I feel falling away from me all objections and obstacles, and nothing from the world of illusion can impinge itself upon me to hypnotize or distract me from the truth of my being. I move because the power of life moves through me. I think because the mind of the divine thinks through me. I choose because I have access to infinite possibilities. I create because that is the nature of the universe I am part of. I am filled then with a sense of possibility and direction, of newness, and so I determine to take my place in the community of beings as a light bearer, a way shower, a pathway that demonstrates what love and possibility can do. And I give thanks for it. I celebrate what has become evident again in my mind. And I release this word into that aspect of the divine that I call the law, so that I may trust that what has been realized in prayer is now reality for my being. And I invite you to say with me, and so it is, followed by a deep breath in and a sigh into a moment of silence and contemplation. Followed by another deep breath in. And as we exhale together this time, we use that breath to make the transition from our time of prayer into being active in the room again with each other as we engage in the beautiful practice of supporting our center financially. I invite the ushers to stand as we prepare to support our center with our financial gifts, by saying together, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does amazing work in the world. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
Namo Bhagavate, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya,
Thank you again for all the gifts that you share with our community. And thanks again to Atreyu and Chris and Paul and Fran and Nick. So our new education catalog is out, and one of the reasons that I've been creating that education catalog is because I know that it can be hard sometimes to choose from the many creative classes and workshops that our teachers have to offer here. So I wanted to have a one-stop shop that had everything in it. So that new catalog is available to you now. It's on our website as well as out in the social hall that you can pick up on your way out. So be sure to grab a copy to see what's coming up this year, and you might just find something that piques your interest. In fact, I know my interest was piqued recently when I was looking at our February faith tradition. We're going to explore Islam. And one of the foundational practices in Islam is Ramadan. And that's a month of fasting from dawn until dusk, with the idea that fasting can help one find their way to a closer relationship with life, with spirit. And so we're going to explore ideas like that practice and more practices like Lent, practices from Buddhism. In my upcoming class, The Abundance in Austerity, the spiritual practice of letting go. And I want to help us to answer some questions like, who are we without our habits, without our stuff? How can we live a rich life regardless of what's going on out in the world? And so I invite you to join me on Tuesday, February 10 at 6 p.m. We'll be both in person and on Zoom. Now, if you heard me say February 3rd last week, that's because I had the wrong date. So it's actually February 10th. We've updated the education catalogs to reflect that. We have another wonderful offering that's coming up. It's our free new member orientation workshop that is happening on the last Sunday of the month, January 25th at 1 p.m. And it's going to be an incredible experience because in it, Dr. Edward and I are going to teach you all about the ins and outs of our community, the things that you might not hear about, how our community works, how it functions, and we're going to do that by taking you through a virtual tour of all that our website has to offer. So if you aren't a member, this class is definitely for you, but if you're already a member and you've always wondered, well, I would love to know how to find things on the website, this is also the class for you. So we invite you to come and join us. We will be both in person in Wagoner Hall and online. And you can register for this workshop out in the social hall. We've got paper registrations, and you can also register on our website. Now, you heard this morning that affirmative prayer is one of the 5 spiritual practices here at our center, but what is it? I'm asking, I need you to help me out here. No. No. It is an incredible foundational practice, and we want to make sure that everybody here in our community knows it like they know breathing. And that's why we have an upcoming workshop called Spiritual Mind Treatment for Beginners that Dr. Edward is going to be leading. And that is beginning on Sunday, February 15 at 1 p.m. That will be over in Wagoner Hall. And in it, we're going to teach you the 5 steps of spiritual mind treatment, what you can use it for, how you can incorporate it into your life, and so much more. So we look forward to seeing you there. You can register for all of these on our website over at the info desk. I often hear from one of our lead volunteers, Chris Kelly, how big of an impact that our Circles for Spiritual Connection have for those who attend. And I know that there's something really special about being able to join our peers as we discuss the spiritual ideas that are shared in talks like you heard today, but also the power that comes from the friendships that form as we all walk along whatever our spiritual path is, hand in hand together. And so today is the last day for you to register for the upcoming 8-week series of Circles for Spiritual Connection. So if you would like to join one, you can go over to our website, and we have the currently offered groups that are not filled up yet available to you, and you can sign up for those there. And if you see Chris Kelly, I don't know if she's here for this service. She may be here for the next service. You can also ask her all sorts of questions about Circles. Last year, we brought back one of our most popular fundraisers called Nurturing Our Community. And these are events that are donated and organized by you, our community, that we in the community bid on so that we can attend them and have fun. And you hosted 18 events last year. And we know that there's going to be even more this year. So the new Nurturing Our Community season begins this next Sunday, January 25th. So if you have a fun idea for an event that you would like to host and donate, registration is already open on our website. There's a link there for Nurturing Our Community you can click on to follow. And next week, our Nurturing Our Community team will be available out in the social hall to answer any of your questions. They're very easy to find because they're wearing white aprons and chef hats. Finally, for today, if you are having a challenging time, if you are grieving a loss and you'd like support, our licensed prayer practitioners are going to be available to you for our monthly grief and loss gathering. That's here in person. If you go upstairs to the room right before the library, you can get grief and loss support there from the end of this service until 10:45. So please do take advantage of that. That's a wonderful way to find support in our community. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of our community. I look forward to seeing you in our upcoming Wednesday evening service, where we're going to discover how we can find order for ourselves in what often can feel like a chaotic world. So have a wonderful week. Be sure to check out Jim Thomason's beautiful art in the social hall on your way out, and we will see you soon.
Thank you, Reverend Russ, and thank you for being here today. If there is something that is incomplete in you, or if you cried yourself to sleep last night, or you're just working on something in your life that you'd like a little bit of energetic support, all of these are good reasons to get some prayer support today, right here in person in the sanctuary, or if you're listening online, through our Zoom room, which you can find on our website. You just go to the Zoom room or to our host in the back of the room, and that host will connect you with a prayer practitioner who's going to listen to you and then create one of those prayers that you've heard in the service, a spiritual mind treatment, specifically for you. It's a beautiful gift to give yourself. It's one of those pillars Reverend Russ talked about. Some people might say that spiritual mind treatment, our form of affirmative prayer, is the backbone of Centers for Spiritual Living. That's the thing that we do that characterizes us. That is the heart of our faith tradition, spiritual mind treatment. It is the process of identifying the divine, reconnecting our mind and heart with it, realizing the truth from that, celebrating it and letting it go. We learn to do it for ourselves, but sometimes it's beneficial to have someone do it for us on our behalf. So take advantage of that. Use it today. Go get a prayer after service. You will be very glad that you did. With that in mind, won't you please stand saying, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. And life is in my affairs. I think it. I feel it. And I accept it. Just the way that it is. And just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone. That Spirit is right where you are. That you have only to look within at any moment to know that you're guided, sustained, and empowered by a presence that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. Thank you again for being here, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Let's sing.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit